What's the classic understanding of hikmah? Wisdom. But what do the mufassirin say that it is? It's the sunnah, yeah? Is that what you said, uncle? Ah, that's a deeper meaning of it too. Beautiful. Putting things in their proper place. That's what hikmah is, exactly. Hikmah, wisdom, is the knowledge of how to put things in their proper place. It's one thing to have knowledge of something, but where does it go? Where does my ibadah, where's my work life, where's my leisure life, where are my hobbies, where are my friends, where's my silent, quiet time, my khadwa time, my time for Allah, my apparent actions, the things I keep to myself that no one sees? And how do I put these all in the proper place? And as we grow in different stages of life, when you're a teenager, that looks a different way. When you're kind of a young professional, you get a family, you have a child, 2 children, and then you have teenagers, and then they're getting married and leaving. Different stages of life as you grow, the hikmah can change, it can flex, depending on who you are and what chapter of life that you're in and your circumstances and whatever. So hikmah is in part the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's also this knowledge of how to apply the sunnah of the Prophet to your life. They're both hikmah. The sunnah itself, as it stands perfectly, and how you adapt it to your life. Because you can't take it all wholesale. You will overwhelm yourself. And you won't know how to apply it. Part of the danger of knowledge is that if you don't know how to come to it, it will destroy you. Many of the early ulama reported, if it wasn't for so-and-so scholar that showed me how to put things together, even a hadith that have seemingly opposite meanings, I would have been destroyed. I don't know how to bring these two and bring them together in a cohesive system. They're seemingly opposite. It was Imam Malik, I believe, that systematized it and showed the other ulama, this is actually how you have to do it. Oh my God, thank you. I was on the verge of going into ruin with all this. So knowledge is a light and healing, and it's also something that can utterly overwhelm us. So the hikmah is important. You can learn something anywhere. You can learn it on Instagram, learn it from school, learn it from a good friend or a teacher, a sheikh. But the art of bringing it in is hikmah. And knowing how to dose it properly. That is the hikmah. So that's why oftentimes you'll see that hikmah medicine, which is what we like to call Islamic medicine. I prefer not to use the word Islamic medicine because it's almost like an audacious claim. Islamic medicine, like what does that really mean? And if I'm doing Islamic medicine and someone else who's a Muslim, who's practicing holistic medicine, but looks differently, they have different modalities or a different kind of practice, are they also doing Islamic medicine? And this third guy and this fourth guy and people all over the world in different languages, it feels like we're just using it as a gimmick, personally. I try to avoid it. Or Islamic psychology even. Like Ibn Sina, for example, wasn't a doctor of Islamic medicine. He was just a physician who happened to be Muslim and a major contributor to the. So it's just part of that reason I prefer hikmah medicine. But also it connects us with this verse, it connects us with this reality. And our tradition itself, which was a tradition of hakims,